Welcome to the Rani Chennamma University BSc 5th Sem Physics Paper 1 syllabus consists of classical mechanics, electronics and relativity, in which Unit 4 is analog electronics. This analog electronics consists of two chapters, network theorems and power supply. The session 28 will study current source, voltage source and superposition theorem. Here, the learning objective of the session is to understand voltage sources, current sources and the different network theorems. In this session, we are going to study the superposition theorem. So, the session outcomes has to state electrical network, voltage sources and current sources, and to state and prove the superposition theorem. So to understand the network theorems, we need some prerequisites, that is electrical network, what is nothing but node, loop and the familiar Ohm's law, Kirchhoff's current and voltage laws, series and parallel circuit, current and voltage divider rule. With this, we'll start to study the some terms, that is electrical network. Any electrical circuit containing resistor, capacitor, inductor and the electronic sources, for example the voltage sources, current sources and also the active elements are connected in series and parallel, is known as electrical network. As we know that network is a connection between one to another. Here the electrical circuit, it consists of either a passive element or an active element are connected in series and parallel. Then let us see the node. A node is an electrical in an electrical network is a point where two or more components meet. And then next, the loop, where it is a closed path through the electrical circuit. By understanding the node and the loop, let us see the Kirchhoff's current law and voltage law. As KCL, that is a Kirchhoff's current law, in an electrical network, the sum of the current entering to the node is equal to sum of the current leaving from the node. So, the node is also known as a junction. Here, the node at it shows a simple example I1, I2, I3, I4, I5, in which I1, I3, I5 are entering into the junction, where I2 and I4 are leaving from that junction. Therefore, the algebraic sum of I is equal to 0. Here, incoming currents are considered to be as a positive, outgoing currents are considered to be as a negative. So, therefore, I1 minus I2 plus I3 minus I4 and plus I5 equal to 0. And next, the Kirchhoff's voltage law. In an electrical network, the algebraic sum of potential differences around a closed loop is 0. Therefore, the summation of all potential differences is equal to the EMF in the circuit. Here, it is having one simple circuit. It consists of 3 series resistors are connected in series with the EMF E. As it is a series, the same current is flowing through the circuit. Therefore, the potential across R1 is I into R1, and then in R2 is I into R2. In R3 is I into R3. Therefore, the summation of IR, nothing but IR1 plus IR2 plus IR3 is equal to E, because it is having only one EMF. If it is having two or more EMF, we have to take the algebraic sum of all EMFs. So these two, Kirchhoff's current law and voltage law, are used the basic for a network theorems. Now let us study the actual syllabus of this network theorem. Here we are going to study the voltage source. As we know that the source is, it gives, it produces. Here it is a voltage source. It means that it will produce the voltage continuously. That is why it is known as voltage source. And then ideal voltage source. Ideal voltage source nothing but it does not having internal resistance. That is a voltage source in which internal resistance Ri is equal to 0. It is known as the ideal voltage source. And the direct voltage source, as the voltage it does not vary with respect to the time, then it is known as a direct voltage source. It produces the output direct voltage continuously. For example, all DC generators and also cells are the example of direct voltage source. And the figure, so where we have denoted here with the series with Ri. Ri, if it is equal to 0, we are not going to represent the resistance, and we take directly the source. And next, alternating voltage source. Here this alternating voltage source in which the voltage it vary continuously with respect to the time. So therefore it is called alternating voltage source. Here oscillators, AC generators and signal generators are an example of alternating voltage source. Now let us study the current source. As the source it will produce, so therefore any device that produces the current continuously is known as current source. Here the ideal current source. Ideal, if the current source is said to be ideal if and only if the internal resistance becomes a infinite. So therefore a voltage source in which internal resistance becomes a infinite is known as ideal current source. Now let us start with network theorems. There are so many theorems, that is reciprocity theorem, superposition theorem, Thevenin's theorem, Norton's theorem, Milliman's theorem, maximum power transfer theorem. All these theorems are used to reduce the network into a simple circuit, a simple resistance or an impedance that we are going to calculate the current through the each element, and also they help us to find the voltage across each element. Here we are going to study the superposition theorem, Thevenin's theorem, Norton's theorem and maximum power transfer theorem. Now let us study the superposition theorem. The statement: in any linear network containing linear impedances and energy sources, the current flow in any element is the sum of current that are separately caused in that element by each energy source. Here, if the circuit is consisting of 2 or more energy sources, then we have to find the value of the current passing through the element with the help of this superposition theorem. Here it is a simple circuit. It consists of 3 impedances Z1, Z2, Z3 and having 2 sources, that is E1 and E2, and their internal impedances Zi1 of E1 and Zi2 of E2. And now the equation, that is I1 is equal to I1 dash plus I2 1 double dash, and I2 is equal to I2 dash plus I2 double dash. Here actual current flowing through the first mesh, that is in I1, is the sum of current in the mesh I1 due to E1 and E2. So therefore it is I1 dash is the current flowing in the first mesh due to E1, and I1 double dash is the current in the first mesh due to E2. Similarly, I2 is the current flowing in the second mesh, and here it is a sum of two currents. One is I2 dash, another one is I2 double dash. I2 dash is the current flowing through the second mesh due to E1, and I2 double dash is the current flowing through the second mesh due to E2. And now let us see the proof of this superposition theorem. Here there are two loops. I1 is flowing in the first loop and I2 is flowing in the second loop. Therefore, I1 and I2 are currents in mesh 1, that is A, B, E, F, A, and in the mesh 2, C, B, E, D, C, due to E1 and E2 respectively. Then you apply KVL to the circuit. Here KVL to the first mesh, say A, B, E, F, A. So in the same direction we have to write the Kirchhoff's voltage equation. Here I1 is flowing through Zi1, Z1 and Z3. So therefore I1 into bracket Zi1 plus Z1 plus Z3 plus I2 into Z3. Here I2 is the current flowing in the second mesh, but it is flowing in Z3 in the same direction as that of I1. Hence it is taken as a positive. So therefore it is plus I2 Z2 is equal to E1. Say this is equation 1. Similarly, we are going to apply KVL to the second mesh. Say C, B, E, D, C. Here we get Z1, I1, Z3 plus I2 into bracket Z2 plus Z3 plus Zi2, and that is equal to E2. Say this is equation 2. Now you solve these two equations. We get I1 and I2. That I1 is equal to E1 into bracket Z2 plus Z3 plus Zi2 minus E2 into Z3 divided by delta Z, where delta Z is equal to Z1 Z2 plus Z2 Z3 plus Z3 Z1. Say this is equation 3. And similarly we get equation 2. Equation 4 for I2. And now so equation 3 and 4 are the equations from figure 1. Here, with the help of the superposition theorem, we must reduce one of the source and calculate the current flowing through the element, and then reduce another source and calculate the current flowing through the same element. Then taking sum of these two, we get the total current passing through that element. Therefore, this figure 2, it shows that here E2 is removed. As E2 is the voltage source, we have to remove by connecting the terminals to be shorted. And if it is a current source, then we have to keep it as a open. Then apply the KVL to the circuit of figure 2. We obtain the similar equation 3 and 4. So as we have obtained from figure 1, 3 and 4, similar equations we are getting here. Here we substitute because E2 is equal to 0, then we get E2 is equal to 0. In the equation 3 and 4, we get the equation I1 dash and I2 dash. Say this is equation 5 and this is equation 6. Again, we apply the KVL to the circuit of figure 3. We obtain the mesh current by putting E1 is equal to 0. Again, we get I1 double dash and I2 double dash. Now, by adding I1 dash and I1 double dash and I2 dash and I2 double dash, we get the same equation as that of equation 3 and 4. So, therefore, that is equal to I1 and I2. It means that the figure 1 is exactly matches the equation of the figure 1 is exactly matches with the equation of figure 2 and 3. Therefore, to simplify that kind of a circuit, we have to reduce one of the source, and if it is a voltage source, we are reducing by connecting it to be a short. If it is a current source, then keep it as a open. Hence, I1 is equal to I1 dash plus I2 double dash, and I2 is equal to I2 dash plus I2 double dash. Hence, the theorem is proved. So, in this session, we learnt the electrical network. So, it is a network consists of a passive and active elements connected in series and parallel. Then a voltage source. This will produce a voltage continuously. An ideal source is one in which the internal resistance is equal to 0. And a current source. It will produce the current continuously. And here the internal resistance becomes a infinite. And the superposition theorem. So this theorem, it indicates that the current flowing through the element is equal to the sum of current flowing through the different sources separately. This is a one simple question how the superposition theorem can be applied to this kind of a circuit. Here, use a superposition theorem to find the current passing through 10 ohm resistance. So, we'll solve this kind of a problems in the session 32. These are the some references. Thank you.